Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch video for the month of February. And I'm going to try to do one of these once a month. It's been a while since we did this series, but anyways, if you're new to it, basically we take a look at a bunch of different cards and we talk about, whether it's going to go up in price and down in price, as well as reprints. So if you are a person that likes to profit off of the game, whether you buy, sell, and trade, this is an excellent video for you, especially if you are going into these tournaments trying to get like the best cards, and obviously if you have a store, this can help you out as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So as you guys know, Performapal and Performapal are pretty hit on that new adjusted list. A lot of players are interested in playing Monarchs, therefore the high rarity of Vandy's Fiend as well as Majesty's Fiend have gone up in price, and that's due to them also being excellent cards. Obviously, yeah, there are common versions of this card, but you guys know how it is. Everyone wants the foil version. They gotta get that ultimate rare, they gotta get the secret rare version of the card. So these have been going kind of up in price. Again, the higher rarities. Obviously the lower rarities, it's like a couple bucks anyways, just because this is in a tin anyways, but excellent cards nonetheless. Mermail Abyss Megalo in Secret Rare has also gone up in price. It's more likely due to people thinking, oh, well, Performapal is going to be super strong. I want to OTK. Mermails are excellent deck at OTKing, but if you're playing against Pendulum and summon a bunch of monsters and put them all in defense mode, yeah, it can be a task indeed, as well as, the Performapal deck getting hit. That makes it so there's less of the searching for Solemn Notices. As you guys know, Solemn Notice completely destroys Mermails, because if they go for a Megalo play and you Solemn Notice it, it's very, very discouraging for the Mermail player to continue on with their deck. Or even the Horn card can definitely disrupt their plays too. Obviously, Pendulum Sorcerer is going to go down in price due to the whole deck just not being as hot as of right now. But if you already have them, it's already kind of tanked in price. The way I see it though, as far as some of you guys that have built Performapal and Performapals, the deck's more than likely going to get more support later down the line. It's one of the main characters' decks, and they usually support the things over and over until they make it really good. So the way I see this, it could potentially go back up in price due to them releasing more broken support that's going to get hit on the ban list anyways. We all know that the Pendulum mechanic in the game is very, very strong. It looks like Raid Raptors are looking really good right now, but for the most part, I think that this deck will probably get some more support later, again, down the line, just to some of the main characters in the show playing it. Next up, the Luster Pendulum Draco Slayer. Obviously, this is going to go down in price. There's also a lot of people thinking it was getting reprinted, but I feel like, well, a lot of people really, well, you can only really play one anyways right now because it's that one. But I know that there's players that will probably still not be playing the adjusted list, but for the most part, yeah, this card has gone down in price. I think it's self-explanatory. Card that you guys might not know of, Mystical Refpanel. It's actually a pretty decent little card here. So it's a trap card that says, activate only when a spell card that targets one player is activated. The effect of that spell card is applied to the other player instead. So what's really good with this is it says instead, so the other player doesn't even get that card. Usually what it comes down to is something that's going to actually let your opponent draw. You activate this, so you're using one card, you're going to draw two, and your opponent also does not get that benefit of their draw power. A lot of draw power requires some form of discard, some type of minus, so you're actually getting a lot of advantage. Your opponent is using two cards majority of the time to get some draw power in, and you're only using one card and you're going to get two. So you get to go +1, your opponent is usually going -1 to 2. So it's actually pretty advantageous for you guys to maybe even have this in your side deck, depending on what decks you're playing against, obviously things with draw power. Tolmias over here, completely irrelevant in the game right now. People are still trying to sell us the other week for like 10 bucks. It's like 5 bucks right now. Not the most hot card. I don't know if this card was ever going to be coming back, but again, anything can happen. So if you didn't have one, hey, a couple bucks here, there's a couple bucks saved later down the line, right? But the way I see this is this card's not super insanely broken. I think it's just people didn't like the Cyber Dragon Infinity easy access to that. I mean, Dino Mists are still going to use Cyber Dragon Infinity, so Cyber Dragon Infinity's price hasn't tanked nearly as hard as something that's completely banned. But for the most part, usually cards like Bryanak, it's really hard to see them coming back. But this, I can maybe see coming back in the future. So if you don't have one of these, it's not a bad investment if you're spending like $2 to $3. That's the way I see it. It's like 5 bucks right now, pretty much. Mask of Restrict, trying to counter those Monarchs. It's gone up in price. More people want to play Monarchs, so like I said before, like these two cards going up in price, so will like the anti-Monarch players. So yeah, Master Trick, really excellent card. Next up, Farm Girl. Now this card, it fluctuated like crazy. Like when Performapal was like, every top, deck list, there's all about the Performapal. Kozmos just went down, and then everyone's like, oh, Performapal hit. Oh, announcement of the new Dark Planet card that's coming out for Kozmos. Farm Girl been going up. Dark Destroyer been going up. So Yeah, Kozmo's definitely looking a little bit better now as far as in the marketplace. So if you have them, it might be an okay time to get rid of them depending on where you think the new support is going. Obviously, they're getting new support in the next set. They already announced it, but how good is that support? I have no idea. I have no idea. When I get that information for you guys, I'll let you guys know. But unless they get Pendulums, I feel like, I don't know how I feel about this deck, especially against like a deck like Raid Raptors. So, yeah, we're getting the Raid Raptor support very soon in the Wing Raiders, so we'll have to wait and see what cards we get. We don't have the full spoiler list yet for that, but once it comes out, I'll let you guys know on that. Because I feel like that's a deck where you can outclass Kozmos relatively easy because you can get out one monster. I know they have Honest and stuff like that, but for the most part, that card is so tough to deal with a deck like Kozmos, which needs to play very, very aggressive with, I would say, minimal back row. They're not like a 30 trap card deck, you know what I'm saying? They generally want to play very aggressive in OTK. Next up, Caius, the Mega Monarchs. All of the Mega Monarchs in general went up a few dollars. They're not like, it's not like something huge, but I figure I just kind of mention it. Some players, maybe even vendors that have like, you know, 50 plus quantities of certain cards, so you can adjust your prices accordingly, because some players like to play the Mega Monarchs. They're not too hot. I think the Quantum build is much better, but if anything, Caius and Karaz are probably the better ones. Maxi is holding its value relatively well. As right now, it's pretty much seen in copies of 3 in the main deck, if not they side deck like the last one in the main deck too. Very, very hot card indeed, so it's still an excellent card to pick up, so I feel like don't be hesitant on picking up Maxis right now, because it's going to be a card that I think is always going to be relevant, but it has technically gone up a little bit in price, but it's not very much. Again, Dark Destroy gone up in price. Then it actually went down in price. It was just due to that last tournament that we had that was really big. So a lot of people were like, I need to get 3 copies of this immediately. And then it went down in price. Again, it could go right back up. It all really depends on that new support. And again, there's no way for us to really determine what that new support is going to be and how good it's going to be. But from the way I see it, it's more likely going to be decent. There's no way it's going to be completely trash. We just got like the other Kozmo support in the last set, and the last set was pretty decent for Kozmos. It wasn't so insanely strong, but it was, you know, decent for sure. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, still an excellent card. It's still kind of an expensive card in general, but I think this is an excellent card. But the way I see it is it could potentially be reprinted in that new gold. I don't know. Sometimes they reprint cards relatively fast, but this card, it didn't come out super long ago, but I feel like it could be a contender to be one of those like really good cards that they announce as a reprint. So if you have them, it's totally up to you. Like I said, it's a very great card in general, but at the moment, I don't think there's like a deck that needs the main deck 3 copies of it, but I think it's really good at least to have in the side deck. Trial and Tribulation has quadruple in price. Quadruple of $2 is still not very much, but hey, you know what? It's used obviously in Monarchs because that's really the only deck that really tributes, but it has a decent little effect. If you guys want to check it out real quick, I'll read its effects. So you can only activate one of them per turn. During the end phase of the turn this card was activated, apply this effect depending on the number of monsters you tributed from the field and from your hand this turn except tokens. So if you do 1, you get to draw a card, 2, you get to add 2 monsters from your graveyard to your hand, and 3, you get to destroy up to 3 face-up cards on the field. Hey, if your opponent is playing Pendulums, you get to get rid of their scale and another card. Yeah, I guess it's during the end phase, but still, that's a very, very huge advantage, because instead of maybe using your monsters' effects to get rid of, like, you know, their monsters, you can get rid of other things, maybe their other back row that you don't know, and then you can get rid of the Pendulum skills and then get rid of the monster. And in addition to not only the Monarchs to be using this, there is that new Amorphage deck that's coming out that also has a ritual monster, so that actually counts as tributing monsters. So that could be an excellent card to, you know, just hold on to. Maybe you already have it and maybe you can go up in price more, but I don't think it's that bad to invest into this card right now because, again, well, a lot of people are using it again in Monarchs, so if you happen to have this card, it could be a good time to get rid of it if you want to, just because, like, it is, like I said, it's a it was a cheap card, and it's not really expensive now, but for the most part, I think it's okay. Like I said, it quadrupled in price, so it's like $6 to $8 as of right now. Keep in mind, all these prices that we're mentioning in this video, yeah, if you're watching this 3 months down the line, like, wow, this guy's an idiot. Dude, that was like, you know, obviously at a certain time, so obviously, like I said, if you're watching this like a year later, then like, these prices have definitely changed. You guys know Yu-Gi-Oh cards fluctuate in price like almost daily, like it's crazy. Another good card in addition to Maxi just to have is Twin Twisters. Some people were saying, oh man, I'm going to get rid of my Twin Twisters because Pepe isn't going to be a thing. Pendulums are the new mechanic, guys, and this card has held its price really strong. A lot of people were thinking, oh man, there's no way this card's going to be $10 forever. It's probably going to be a solid $10 card for a long time. Not only is it an excellent card right now, but especially if they come out with a new mechanic of using like other pendulums or like other things, I think this card is just excellent just because you get to get rid of 2 things on board and you're only using 1 card, and especially in decks that like to OTK, that's definitely a great option for you to have Twin Twisters, just because like in a deck like Mermails, for example, where you can OTK pretty much through like 1 card. It's an excellent card just in general. If you guys don't have these already, it's an okay time to invest, and if you're not investing into these, don't worry about it. I don't think that they're going to go up in price to this point where it's skyrocketing high, but it's still an excellent card. Just make sure you guys have 3 of these eventually, because it is a good card. Next up, I wanted to mention some reprints that we already know about in the new gold. Well, gold and also Wing Raiders, the ones that we know of as of right now. 101 Silent Honor Arc, also Giant Hand and Dvorak. These are all getting reprinted. There's a few other smaller reprints. Daigusto Emerald is unknown as of right now. Some people have messaged me to say, I know Daigusto Emerald. I'm not saying Daigusto Emerald. Some people message me on that, and they're like, I already know information that I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying, and the sources were like my good sources. I have my good sources, but a lot of people were saying this card could get reprinted, or they know it's going to be reprinted. But again, I'm not saying it's 100% confirmed, but the way I see it is, I don't know if it's going to get reprinted in Wing Raiders. We don't know the full list for Wing Raiders yet, and this is coming out in just a few days. I'll let you guys know the full list, and I will be doing an unboxing of the Wing Raiders once it comes out. And it's looking to be like, well, it comes with, in the set, there's Phantom Knights, there's the Super Quantum, so definitely Monarch support in here, and the Phantom Knights is going to be a newer archetype. We'll have to wait and see what we can get with it. Obviously, Daigusto Emerald doesn't really support either one of those. Maybe you could argue that it supports Super Quantums, but for the most part, maybe perhaps in the Gold Series, because we don't really have cards that we really need in the Gold Series that are going to be like mind-blowingly good. We obviously have 106 announced, and we have Dvorak, so there's 2 little prize cards. But a lot of other cards, like, I'm thinking, like, great cards to put in this. If they don't already have the list, Daigusto Emerald would be awesome, Ghost Ogre or Snow Rabbit would be awesome. It's too early for Solemn Strike. I know a lot of you guys be like, well, I want Solemn Strike. It's too new. I don't think that they'll put it in there. But I feel like Daigusto Emerald really does deserve a reprint, so it would make sense that it gets reprinted in, like, you know, Wing Raiders or the new Gold Infinity set once it comes out. But yeah, excellent cards in that the Gold Series, especially since we waited so long for Giant Hand, and we finally have it, but I feel like it's almost irrelevant right now in the game. But nonetheless, it's still a decent card. Yeah, it definitely can be pretty powerful, but I feel like this card was good a long time ago. It was much better a long time ago. But anyways, guys, if you felt like I missed out on any cards, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to like update you guys this on the full list again on Wing Raiders once that comes out, as well as the Gold Infinite set, because we don't know really very much about that. All we know is these 2 cards are confirmed: the number 106 and Dvorak. Other than that, though, I don't know what else is coming out in that set. But like I said, felt like I missed out on anything, let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you guys give that like button a titty slap, and it's been your boy Will Smith, signing out.